flying the Vulcan today, and the other pilot alongside him is Phil O'Dell, and the third man in the crew, the air electronics operator, is Phil Davies down the back. While I'm talking about the crew, the man I always like to mention whenever we see Vulcan fly is Taft Stone. He's the crew chief and the chief engineer. He always says 558 is my baby. He has a team of 6 engineers who daily work miracles keeping that aeroplane airborne. Look at that, what a lovely shape that is in the sky on the far side of the airfield. Chris Heames leading the Vulcan. I would imagine he doesn't want to look over his shoulder much. That could be quite intimidating. Kev Wyman on Vulcan's right wing. Mark Fitzgerald on Vulcan's left wing. These aircraft are operated under charitable arrangements. Vulcan, of course, is operated by the Vulcan to the Sky Trust, which is, of course, a registered charity. And indeed, the Gnat display team have their own charity as well, the Heritage Aircraft Trust. That's about £38,500 a week. And it's always been a struggle to raise money. Obviously she's not funded by the government and she no longer belongs to the Royal Air Force. She's doing about 345 miles an hour there. And as Kev Rumans takes her away up to our left, I expect to see him bring her back in on the B axis, that's straight towards us from the far side of the airfield. I mentioned Roy Chadwick, the great designer. He first drew the shape that was to become Vulcan on a scruffy piece of paper in 1946, only 5 years after his magnificent Lancaster had flown. Sad to say he died the following year in a crash, so he never saw his brilliant design fly, nor did he see it become the first successful operational delta-winged aircraft in the world.
Sometimes he's going to put a power on and fly away. That's better engine.
And unique Vulcan howl. We may hear another one later in the display, coming from those 4 Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus 202 turbojets, about 16,500 pounds of static thrust from each of them, 65,000 pounds in total. And what that enables this aeroplane to do was originally to carry hydrogen bombs, part of the mutually assured destruction, which was what the Cold War was all about. You dare come and attack us and we'll obliterate you and probably the rest of the planet in the process. And the extraordinary thing was, it worked. Frederick Forsyth said that it's a fool of a nation that doesn't honour its veterans and revere its saviours. Through its long career, the Avro Vulcan was both. Through the most dangerous years, 56 to 1969, she patrolled the perimeters of hostile airspace. And Frederick Forsyth went on to say, when tensions were at their highest, Vulcan held the line, saying by its presence to any aggressor, don't even try it. And they didn't. intended to carry the hydrogen bomb, but later in her career to carry 21 1,000-pound bombs. So a payload of 21,000 pounds. And it was that payload that right at the end of her operational career in 1982, Vulcan 607 took from Ascension Island all the way down to the Falkland Islands and bombed the runway at Port Stanley when it was occupied by the Argentines. Bomb bay closing. That, I think, was called a Kev Rumin's turn. That bombing trip down to the Falkland Islands, it was 7,760 miles, the longest bombing raid in history at the time. It's about the same distance as from here to Bali in a single hop, and it took no less than 18 air-to-air refuelings to get the Vulcan there and back. And she was flown on that occasion by Captain Martin Withers, who is now the chief pilot of the Vulcan to the Sky Trust, but actually not with us today.